Let's make delicious, easy to slice sandwich bread that you can have at home. You're going to need a 1 cup measuring cup, a regular spoon, and a dough hook. Listen, trust me, I've tried it without. It just makes it so much easier. And I'm telling you, I went for years without it, and now I wouldn't go back. Start with 1 warm cup of water, not hot, but warm, and 2 spoonfuls of yeast. Add to that 3 spoonfuls of sugar, or you can use honey. I've done both. Then let that sit for 5 to 10 minutes. Just walk away, get your other supplies ready. I also go ahead and dry off my measuring cup so I can use it for dry ingredients too. Next, one thing you might not have on hand, but now I keep on hand all the time is dry cultured buttermilk. I get mine at Walmart, and this works so good in this bread. I'm going to do 3 heaping spoonfuls of the dry buttermilk. What does that one chef say? Measure carefully. I love him. Anyways, get you 3 spoonfuls, throw it in. Now I'm going to do the olive oil, and this is how I do it. 1, 2, 3, good. Don't let this stress you out. Do a little more, do a little less. It's okay. I'm going to give that a little bit of a mix. Don't go crazy. We're just giving it a little stir. Now I'm going to add my flour. I've been buying this flour from Costco, and I've been very happy with the results. And I'm going to press the flour in and do a whole cup, and I'm going to do 5 of these total. But after a couple, I'm going to let it mix just a little bit. So 5 well-pressed cups of the all-purpose flour. After all 5 cups are in, I'm going to add a pinch of salt. Now take your measuring cup, and when you go back, only fill it up 2/3 of the way full of warm water. We're going to start with 2/3, and then I'm going to look at it, and somewhere between 2/3 and a full cup of warm water is what you're going to add. It really depends on the day and your kitchen and all that sort of thing. So you just want to watch it and look and see if it's too dry. As it mixes, it should all come together. And then as it goes, it's going to actually separate into its own ball. I ended up using a whole cup of water today. But last week, I only used 3/4. Who knows? But it is okay if it does feel a little bit dry. This is not a wet dough. It's formed a nice ball and kind of separated out on the side. So I'm just going to remove the mixer, and I'm going to take and set it in a warm spot in my kitchen, cover it up, and let it rise. It's going to double in size. Now, if you want to kind of speed the process, or if your kitchen's a little cold, you can put it in your oven with just the light on. It's not on. I just have the light on, and that can help it proof a little bit faster. It was about 45 minutes when I came back to check, and it had doubled in size, looked great. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide it. For this recipe with the 5 cups of flour, I divide it into 2 loaves. And at this point, I don't even flour my counter. The dough is not super wet. It's not very sticky. And I've just cleaned my counter really good. And I'm going to divide it into 2 equal-ish loaves. I got my little cutter here. After I split it into 2, I'm just going to form each one into a nice little loaf. But first, before I forget, I'm going to spray my pans good. And make sure to spray the sides of the pan so it doesn't get stuck. All right, I'm going to just knead it a little bit so that I'm forming it into a nice loaf. I roll and tuck a little bit and just kind of pinch the bottom. Really, for sandwich bread, in my experience, it's not super sticky. And what I do is after I've got it formed, I just do 3 little slices in the top to help it as it rises. Slide that into my pan, and then I'm going to do the same thing with my second loaf. I'm going to put these in a warm spot to let them rise. Sometimes I'll even turn my oven on for a little bit if I feel like it's cold in the house and I need to kind of warm it up. I promise my countertops are not dirty. It's just if they get wet, it changes the color. Here they have risen. Don't they look so pretty? I think it's been about an hour, hour and a half. And now I'm going to slide them into a 350-degree oven, and I'm going to let them bake until they are nice and golden. They're not white at all. They are really golden. This is a new oven to me in my new kitchen, so I did notice that they kind of baked a little higher on one side than the other. I got to do some tweaking to figure that out. After they cool just a little bit, I'm going to pull them out and set them on a cooling rack. And really, you're supposed to wait till they're completely cool to slice them. Sometimes I can't wait, but they turned out absolutely gorgeous. Little butter, honey, delicious. And way healthier than some of that stuff you find on the grocery store shelf.